This is Juan Grimaldo with the Grimaldo Group. We have another episode of the Grimaldo Group blog. So today we have the Castillos here. They've been with us for just a little bit, and you want to introduce yourself? Who are you, Anthony?
Well, my name is Anthony Castillo. A little bit about me is I was in the Air Force for 15 years before I went full-time real estate agent, and that was in 2021. And I've been a part of Juan's team for about 6 months.
Awesome.
My name is Leslie. I'm Anthony's wife. I was born and raised in Arizona, so I'm a native of Arizona. And the very first time I moved away was when me and Anthony got married in 2004. Then he got stationed back in Arizona, so we got stationed back in 2012, and basically started doing real estate for myself 6 months ago with Anthony, and we joined Juan's team and booming ever since.
Awesome. So, Anthony, you were born here in Arizona?
No, I'm a California native.
What part?
South California.
Okay.
So I was from West Covina area.
Okay. Awesome. I lived in Anaheim, Costa Mesa area, so I'm familiar. So, and you were in the Air Force. Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
So, why real estate, man? What made you get into real estate?
So the reason why I got into real estate, my sister-in-law was a real estate agent, and I was seeing the possibilities. I like to help people, but the biggest thing was that pushed me towards it was the options that real estate would provide our family, and the extra free time once you get to a certain place. That I know everybody says that, oh man, I don't want to be a slave, and every job that I worked in, even in the Air Force, it didn't matter how much effort I put into it. I still got paid the same. Even I couldn't move up in rank with effort. It was you have to do tests and do other stuff to make rank. And with real estate, the more effort you put, that's what you get out of it.
So you basically have a cap, right?
Correct.
So let me go back just a little bit. So you guys have a family. How many kids?
Yes, we have two boys, so one 16-year-old and one 13-year-old boy.
Awesome. Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I have no hair.
And they play sports, right?
They
Yes.
do, yeah. They're part of the Arizona Dolphins team. They basically do it for a club year round. So it's something that has taught me a little bit more discipline. Just seeing my boys wake up at 4:00 in the morning, every day, and being at practice twice a day for 6 days out of the week, it shows us like, hey, if they could do it on top of going to school, so can we. And I think that's the biggest part why I moved into real estate, was not also to become more in sync with Anthony, is to make our family have, that, I guess, grow our wealth, not just for, our children, but also to spread the wealth for, different families. I think that's the best part, to be part of an industry where you get to help people build, and basically just, sharing all the information that Juan gives to us, also sharing it with our children to help them grow, to help them on their journey. Our 17-year-old, he's, getting ready to go off to college. And of course, that could be a little scary, but meeting a whole bunch of different people in real estate reassures you like, hey, it's okay. Your kid is going off, but, you could go ahead and basically, work a little bit more. And I love that. I love getting to know people and just building off of them. That's the best part of being in real estate, that it's never ending what you're going to run into, and you're definitely not going to be bored.
Right. So one of the things that most people don't understand, and they think that it's our job is really easy, right? Which is, it's not hard, but it's just very tedious. There's a lot of ins and outs. So what was your expectation, and was it what you expected when you went into real estate?
Well, I guess my biggest thing, my sister was the one that was in real estate, and she was in real estate since like 2002. So going, being along with her and going through the ups and lows, I kind of knew that when you get into this business, it's not something that you're going to see, right off the bat. You have to put in the work if you want to see success. So that's the biggest thing, basically building up and not getting defeated by not seeing basically you just have to be patient. You have to be patient with it.
Was it easier or harder than you thought?
I would say it's a little bit harder than I thought.
It's okay to be truthful. Yeah. Is it harder?
Yes, it is. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So what about you, Anthony? I mean,
the biggest issue that I had is the cold calling. To be honest with you, I wasn't expecting myself to have like call reluctancy, but just to sit there. The way to put it, for me at least, is to be able to start calling somebody and not know the answer to what they're going to tell you gave me, I guess, a pin in my stomach. And it was hard for me to make that phone call.
Right.
So it was more like learning the scripts and be like, okay, I know how to do that. Okay, so I feel comfortable. I started off with the buyer scripts, and I feel comfortable talking to buyers. I have no issues. Now that I'm trying to transition over to the listing side, I'm having those pitfalls again of, oh man, I'm getting this pit in my stomach. I don't know what I'm gonna say because it's a whole different ball game, and that's the hardest part that I've had with it. I mean, I've been on the phone before. I work at American Express, and then I'm calling people all the time. But this specific calls itself, it was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be, for sure.
Right. So, and I think that's the hardest part in our industry to make those phone calls, right? Because they're uncomfortable. Yet, just like the baseball players, I'm sure that before they were at the major leagues, they trained like crazy. So most people expect just to show up and the business will come, but you have to work hard at it.
Exactly.
And that's what we're doing every single day, right? To practice that craft in which we're able to provide our clients with the best service possible. So what are the benefits working hand in hand with your couple in real estate?
I would say being able to feed off each other, being able, if I'm lacking something, he goes ahead and picks it up. I think that's the best part. I mean, it's like, you have to get used to it. It's tough sometimes, being in basically you don't ever have that time away to be like, oh, okay, I get to do my own individual thing. You have to learn how to be okay with each other in the sense of, oh, well, you're not doing this right. And it's like, oh, whoa. Like, hey, you gotta.
We work together.
Yeah. So it's like, I think it's great for him being able to tell me, hey, I think you should work on this. Like, this is where I see that you're having your downfalls. So I think it's great having my husband being able to give me that support or tell me, hey, Leslie, I think this will make it better. And I think this will help us be more successful. So to me, sometimes, it's not all roses sometimes, but I think it's great coming from your partner and seeing us both grow in an industry that's endless. I think that's the greatest joy that we have right now.
Yeah, like she said, it's difficult. Some couples can't do it. I mean, they get divorced over it. But when we first started working together, I told Leslie that I was like, man, I wonder how it's gonna be. And to me, it's been a pleasant surprise that I actually like working with her.
But you guys are like friends, and which I think it makes a big difference when you guys both can complement each other, and you guys can, instead of arguing over something, how can we fix this, right? And I think that's powerful because. As couples, sometimes we focus on, okay, well, you did this and I didn't do it and you did it. But instead here, you guys work together. Okay, this is an issue that we have. How can we fix it?
Right.
And I think that's gold, right?
Yeah, I 100% agree. Like, perfect example was that when I started doing listings, Leslie was listening to me make my phone calls. And as she was making her phone calls during a pause, she was like, oh man, what happened there? And then the next one, I was like, oh, you sounded way better on that one. Like, you have more confidence. And that's not with me asking her to pay attention. She just listening to it. And I do the same thing. That's how you get better. That's what I tell her. That's how you succeed, is by getting that feedback. We're both open to feedback. Sometimes it's not the feedback that we want to hear. And
it's uncomfortable, right?
Yes.
Correct.
So I think, and then basically what we've been doing with the script practice and role play, and I can hear it, right? Like, we all practice, we're hearing each other, and I bet you our minds are just going wild. Oh man, I could have said this. I should be saying this and that. So I think that's powerful. So what disadvantages or obstacles have you faced during your real estate journey?
The disadvantages, I think, is starting off, to me, was, which threw me for a loop, was starting to work with buyers. You have no time whatsoever. And that was one of the reasons why I came, and I was like, you know what, I want to work with real estate. I can plan my schedule better around what I wanted, what I need to do, and what I want to do. And when you're starting off, you don't have that luxury. And I realized that the hard way of being out until like almost 9 o'clock at night showing houses, because that's where I was at, right? That's at that point in my career, I was showing, I'm a buyer's agent, so that's what I was doing.
Yeah. And
to me, it was heartbroken because I was spending less time with my kids than I thought I was going to. I mean, the good part, I was spending all my time with Leslie, but the family life wasn't there because my kids were doing their own thing. I would come home, they're sleeping, and then I still got to work.
Yeah.
So that was the hard part for me.
And that's, a lot of people have this misunderstanding that because you own your own business, you're going to work less.
Correct.
Well, now you don't depend on anybody to give you a job, to give you a check. You have to create that.
Correct.
So you have to work, twice as hard. And I watched this TikTok the other day. My wife gives me compliments. But the guy's about to go to bed. He's like, I quit my job so I can be my own boss. And he's about to jump in bed. He's like, oh crap, now I have to work 24/7. And he turns around and goes back.
And I agree. My sister, for example, she was talking to me once I made the transition full time, and she was like, "Oh man, you never have time." I was like, "Well, I gotta hustle, or else I don't get paid."
Yeah.
And you have to invest in it, right? Like anything you do. And my father was a farmer, and I always bring this analogy. Is like, in order for him to have a nice cornfield, he would have to plant these seeds, right? And it's tedious work. You have to prepare the soil, you have to plant, you have to fertilize it, you have to water it, you have to watch it, make sure there's no plagues going through or whatever. And then it takes months before you see some fruit, right? Some will bear fruit, some won't. So we used to plant 3 seeds in every single hole, right? And I used to throw a bunch of stuff over the fence. And they were like, wow, what'd you do? But anyways, in anything, it's patience, right? And then it's you're just planting. You're watering it. Some plants may not bear any fruit. Some will bear a bunch. So it's just a patience game. So, any advice you can share with couples starting the real estate journey?
Patience.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
I think in anything,
Patience,
right?
yes. Like anything, you have to be able to have that time. You have to be realistic of what type of industry you're going into and not be ready to get that, that instant like payoff. Yeah. So I think the biggest thing is have patience with each other. You both are learning a new trait, and becoming professional is not from night and day. So I think it's great going into this industry with your couple because you guys get to grow and get to basically provide wealth for your family and do it together, having that sense of accomplishment and be like, wow, I can't believe we did this together, and having the same schedule sometimes it's a great thing, at least for us.
Right. And sometimes the flexibility, you may say, well, you know what, I'm always working. Yeah, you can sometimes plug your schedule. If you have something to do, you know what, I'm not going to be available for such and such. But you're right. I mean, at the beginning, just like anything, you have to work extra hard.
Right.
And we're reading a book called The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. Yeah. And it basically shows you that, like, you have to little by little, build up. And then before you know it, you're going to have a business that is going to be very, very,
absolutely.
like, it's going to give you that flexibility and freedom that you're looking for.
Yes.
Yeah. So another thing that I liked was that when I started off on my own in 2016, I was on my own completely by myself. Even though I was on a team, the team wasn't really working as a unit. And with working with Leslie is that she can see where I'm weak at, where I gotta grow in, and by happy circumstances, Leslie is pretty strong in the areas that I'm weak at, and vice versa. So we complement each other pretty well, I think, and I think that's what's helped us.
That's huge. That's a big deal because if you don't, especially if you're not on the same page.
Right.
Right now, I see you guys collaborating. Like I feel like for me, I come to the office and I'm like I talk about the Iron Man. When she's playing with the computers and doing all these things. I enjoy what I do, and it seems like you guys are having fun with it. And what better than learning it together, growing together, and then, like you said, pass that knowledge to your family.
Correct.
And it may not be that you're going to have them be real estate agents, but maybe they're investors like my kids. My two daughters, they bought a house already.
Mm-hmm.
And how powerful is that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I mean, I was trying to get my dad to purchase a home for the longest time, and now he priced himself out because he didn't want to. But that's exactly right. I mean, we're teaching everything that we're learning to our kids now, so they won't make the same mistakes that like my parents did or whatnot.
Exactly, and the one of the things that are huge is just knowledge, and there's a lot of knowledge out there, but what are we taking out of it? And we have a powerful opportunity to touch people's lives, right? I mean, for example, you guys doing this business is going to help your family do other things.
Right.
I had no clue about real estate, we grew up really poor, so I had no way of even. I wanted to own a home and a big home at some point, right? That was in my dreams, but I had nobody to share that with me. And for us is what we do here is we want to help you and we want to help your family reach those goals. And I had a meeting yesterday with Andres, which is our youngest agent. He's 18 years old. And the people that we met with, they're young. They have a substantial amount of money to invest, yet they wanted to pay their house off instead of investing that money. And we had a conversation in which now their eyes are open and now they're going to become investors. And I asked them the question, do you want to be wealthy? And this is how it is. So we have the opportunity to touch many people's lives. Obviously, you want to start with your family, and then it goes from there. What else do you want to share? What's your experience of from going by yourself to being in a team?
Well, going by myself, you're responsible for everything. When I mean everything, you're responsible for getting the leads, buying the leads, the transaction itself, completely everything. The one thing that drew me to the Grimaldo Group was the structure that he already had that alleviated a lot of the back end work for me. For example, the transaction itself, we have transaction coordinators that they work on that end. So it helps me focus more on the client instead of all the paperwork that needs to go with that. So that was the biggest weight off my shoulders to say, and to not know where the training that comes with the group in the direction, because before I was just, I don't know, like looking for what a needle in a haystack, trying to figure out how to do this on my own. And when I came here, Juan with his knowledge was like, hey, do it this way. This is known to work. Go ahead and try this. Before I didn't know. I had no idea, and like I said, I was just trying to figure it out on my own, and it wasn't working very well.
And some people focus on the fees. So I was at a smaller brokerage before, and before that I was at a big brokerage that I didn't have any resources to tap into, or I didn't have a mentor. I would ask people questions, and they would be like, I don't want to share anything with you. These are my deals, and I feel like you learn more when you help others. And the wealth gets spread out even more, and it's gratifying for me. It's like, dude, I want to help everybody get into real estate, get into a home, invest, all the stuff that I learned. I'm like, God put me in this world not just for me to have a good life, but how can I share what I've learned with others so they can have an amazing life?
Correct.
So I appreciate you guys' opportunity to work with you, because I mean, you guys teach me a lot, and I tell you guys this all the time. Like, there's a lot that I learn from you guys because we are different, right? And seeing you guys work is freaking inspiring, because you guys are at it, you guys are diligent, and all these trainings that we have. I know sometimes, and I hear that, well, we have to work too. Yeah, we have to, but they say learn to earn.
Right.
And a lot of agents just go in with the mentality that they're gonna just go in and make money.
Correct.
Well, if you don't know what you're doing, it's gonna cost you a lot of money, right? Because there's a lot of mistakes that you can make here. People don't realize that because we take care of them. Our job is to make sure that the transaction is smooth.
Correct.
Yet we want to make sure that we learn and we know what we're doing, not only in real estate, but also how can we grow personally. And we do a lot of stuff, right?
Yes. And I 100% agree. Since coming to this team, I've learned so much of personally that I didn't know about myself because of all the training that's provided on the team, and also how it was like, oh man, I've been doing it wrong the whole time, because it's like you just said, I've never heard you got to learn to earn until I came here. That's truthful. And I was like, oh man. So that's why, I mean, I make it a priority to make sure that I do the trainings that I have to do before I go try to get some money. Because I mean, again, if I don't know what I'm doing, or if I'm not good at what I'm doing, the money's never going to come.
Just imagine if you go to your doctor and they say he's going to do surgery on you.
Yeah.
How long did you go to school for? I just took a course 6 months and 2 weeks, and I got my license.
Right.
Let's do it. No, hell no, yeah, man,
Next.
late to do, right? So, and this is how real estate is taken. Like, people get their license, and just by getting their license, they feel like, now I know it all, right? Which again, there's really smart people. Maybe I'm not one of them. Yet you want to know what you're doing because you can put your client's situation in jeopardy. And it can cost literally thousands of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? If you don't know what you're doing when it comes to inspections, due diligence, and all this. So it's important that you guys align yourselves with great agents that are doing, they're learning, and they know how to guide you through the transaction to make sure that you have a great outcome. And I mean, I'm grateful that you guys are appreciating the training. And not only that, you're taking it, and it's for you. And when I share this with you guys, I tell you, this is for you.
Right.
Because no matter where you go, nobody's going to take this away. My father used to say that, whatever you learn, son, that goes with you to the grave. You want to share that with others so that they can also grow.
Yeah, and I think that's what's amazing about being part of, the Grimaldo group is that if you go and learn something, you pass it down. It's not just like, oh, okay, well, I earned it, I'm going to go ahead and basically reap the benefit of it. You make sure that it gets passed down to each and single one agent. So I think that's amazing. I think it's amazing how you're not just here teaching us, hey, it's the paycheck, get the deal. It's, no, you got to grow yourself, and then you're going to go ahead and see all these benefits from it. So I think that's really powerful, being with, a mentor such like Juan, that gives you so much knowledge that you could go ahead and, teach that to your children now, and then teach it to your clients, because we're all growing. And I think it's beautiful having that that gift that he's given us, being able to say, oh my God, I can't believe I'm learning this. It kind of sucks sometimes being like, oh, why did it take so long? But everything falls, like the divine intervention, everything falls into place when it's supposed to. And I'm very happy, that our paths crossed, and that my sister was like, hey, go to Juan, go to the Grimaldo group. And it's amazing, being able to just have that benefit, to have you there. And if I have a question, I know that I could count on you. And that's amazing, because if, being a new agent, you have to have that person behind you, knowing that, they're able to have your back regardless of whatever comes. And I think it's beautiful that we're able to be part of this group and not only grow our, real estate career, but to grow, to different paths.
Definitely. And then, well, go ahead.
So I was going to say, one of the things that I've learned here from the many books that you've recommended us to read is that for you to grow, like, for example, the millionaires that we've been reading in MREA and in the other books that we've read, talk about, if you're successful, bring people with you, and their success is going to become your success.
Yep.
I've never, not even just in real estate, I've never been around somebody that actually tries to do that. For example, he tries to better himself, but at the same time, he's like, hey guys, let me bring you with me, better yourself. And then in the end, Juan benefits from us getting better as well. So that's again, like, he's the only person that I've seen do that personally from the people that I've been around. And I mean, again, it's a blessing for our family to be able to be around somebody like that.
And that guy said, didn't ask you to say any of this stuff, and
No.
I have no clue about all this, but I'm grateful for that. And there was one thing that made me think, and Darren Hardy is one of our mentors, right? Yeah. So we watch him and do his trainings. And so when you die, what do you want people to say? This guy had money, he enjoyed life, and he took it by himself, and he never shared anything. Well, I share everything with you guys, but I get what I can, and what I'm able to, I will. And so that's why we do this video. The purpose of this video is not for us to say, hey, look at us, we're great.
Yeah.
Right.
How can we help you get to reach your goals? Do we benefit from real estate? Yes, we're in this business. And then if you go to the freaking store, you're going to pay for a soda, they're going to benefit from that. But you need the soda, you're thirsty, right?
Right.
So how can we help you grow wealth? How can we help you get to that next level? How can we be a resource for you so that you can reach your goals? And that's our goal. yes, we benefit from it, but we also want to share with you the things that we've learned that are priceless. I'm going to interview a girl. She was a tenant, and I'm going to share this little story with you guys here. She was a tenant renting a property back in 2011, and my clients were going to purchase that property. So I asked her, what are you going to do after this?
Mm-hmm.
And she says, well, I'm going to go and find another rental. And I said, why don't you buy? She's like, well, I don't know if I'm going to stay here. And the market, it's always been going up. For those people that don't know, the market always goes up. Yes, it crashed in a way, but that's historic and it was crazy. But anyways, so I said, well, even if you don't stay here, you can own a home for a year and then sell it, make some money. Mm-hmm. And she's like, well, I don't know. And da. So I said, do you work? She's like, well, I got an accident and I'm going to be, I'll receive some money. Long story short, I said, you know what? These guys that are buying your home are millionaires, and they became millionaires with real estate. So don't ask me because I have a biased opinion. I love real estate, so I'm going to tell you, go invest in this. Go ask them if the advice I'm giving you, which at that point I already shared with her what I would suggest. She had a $750,000 account that she had invested, and this account she was pulling money every now and then to pay for her bills. I said, you're going to run out of money. Mm-hmm. Long story short, she went, talked to the guys. They said, you know what? Follow his advice. It's good. She bought 4 homes back then. One she lives in, and the other 3 were rentals. And I did the math, and it's about $3.5 million worth of money that she has now from that, counting the rents that she's making. So from being a renter to being self-sufficient to now having so much money that she's like, Juan, I have $300,000. I need to buy another house. Yeah. Right. I mean, just imagine that, right? Yeah. I could have let her say, you know what, be a renter. Let me get you another house. Go do whatever. So it's not. Our goal is to help you improve your situation, not just to sell you a home. And I mentioned this yesterday. I never said it before. I said, you know what? I'm going to be your counselor. I'm not going to be just a realtor, because there's a lot of realtors out there, right? I want to help you grow your wealth. Is that okay with you? And they loved it. So we're here for you guys. They're here for you. What I say, they know. If they don't know, they come to me. And if I don't have the answer, we'll go to other people. We have a lot of great resources around us. I have a lot of friends that own several properties. Many properties, and their success was copied, and they share it, and we share it with you guys too, so you guys can benefit from that. So I think I went on a little tangent. It was all about you guys, but I feel like basically what you're saying is learn to earn, right?
Yes.
And also let's share that with others.
Yes. Exactly. And then again, we're here to provide a service. Even if you don't purchase at the time and you just need information, we're that resource for you.
Yes.
Because if we provide a good service, guess what? You're going to tell somebody that we did a good job, and that somebody might be looking or might be trying to sell at the time. And then we're here to provide any service that we can.
Exactly. And change their lives too, right?
That's right.
Awesome. Anything else before we go, guys?
No,
I think that was everything.
Well, thank you so much for watching. We appreciate you. And we're here if you need anything. Leslie and Anthony Castillo, rock stars. They live in Verado particularly.
Yes.
That's their niche, but we're pretty much valley-wide. So
That's right.
Let us know if you guys have any needs for real estate. We know the market is beautiful right now. People think it's crazy. I think it's great to invest in real estate. There's a lot of new things coming in.
That's
right. Just a little bit before we go, there's a new mall being built by you guys' home, right?
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah, the
a shopping center.
Yes.
Yep. So
it's coming at the end of 2023, I believe.
2023, yes.
Yeah, and that's a big deal. So again, guys, if you listen to the noise about the market crashing, is it going to crash? I don't have a crystal ball. You need a place to live anyways, right?
Yes.
So the rates are going to go up. Yeah, they're going to be even higher. So is it waiting a good idea? No. Do it now.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Have an amazing day. Take care.
Bye.